Today in this video we are going to discuss some numerical problems which are in electrostatic lesson plus 2 physics. There are number of problems present in every lesson. Some problems are solved in particular areas. Some numerical problems is back side of the box. I selected some problem which are very difficult to you to solve. Those problem I selected. In this video I am going to deal some problem which are related to NEET also. Let's start first problem, that is example 1.3. Two small sized identical equally charged sphere, each having mass 1 milligram, are hanging in equilibrium as shown in the figure. The length of the each string is 10 centimeter. Length of the each string is 10 centimeter and the angle theta is 7 degree. The theta is 7 degree with vertical. Calculate the magnitude of the charge on each sphere. Calculate the magnitude charge in each sphere. Before going to solve any problem, first, what are the data given? According to the data, first you take down. Then what we are going to calculate? This is very easy. Simply mere reading will not help us to do the problems. First read carefully. What are the things given? According to these things and do and take down. And what is going to calculate? In this question we are going to calculate the charge. There are two identical spheres suspended by means of the string, a kept at distance. A length of the string is L, that is L is equal to 1 centimeter. So given data, length of the string is 1 centimeter. The any value given that should be converted to SI unit, centimeter converted to meter, that is 0.1 meter. The mass of the each sphere is 1 milligram. Mass M is equal to 1 milligram converted into SI unit. 1 milli, 1 into 10 power minus 3 kg. Two charged sphere hanging with help of some other string whose length is 1 meter. The two spheres, suppose two spheres are not charged, suppose a neutral, they will not make any angle. See, the two spheres given a positive charge given to two sphere. So we know already studied in the electrostatic lesson in Coulomb's inverse square law. Dissimilar charges attract, similar charges repel. So two sphere, positive charge given to the two sphere, so there will be the attractive force or there will be repulsive force exist between these two things. Okay, our aim to calculate what is a charge given on the sphere. Now we should do two important things. One is applying Newton's second law, that's a force F is equal to ma, and apply free body diagram on each sphere. Okay, let us consider one of the sphere hanging from the equilibrium position. It is a make an angle theta whose length is L. Draw free body diagram FBD. So this is the mass whose mass is 1 milligram and whose force, one of the force acting toward downward direction, F is equal to mg. The force due to gravity. Another force, this is a positive charge, this is a positive charge, there will be the repulsive force. So the one of the charge is moving away, that's why it is kept certain angle. If the two charges are neutral, they are they will not make any angle. Theta 0, theta would be the 0. So that is why the two charges are in equilibrium position, the charge given, positive charge given. So one of the force, another force, electrostatic force. One force acting toward downward direction, another force acting repulsive force. Now the tension T, tension of the string T has been resolved the two components. One is a vertical component, another one is horizontal component. Tension, horizontal component and vertical component. The tension of the wire has been resolved the two components. One is vertical component, another one is horizontal component. Here, this is the theta. If it is a theta, it's also theta. It's also theta. Theta. So what is the opposite of the theta? That is a sine angle. It is a sine, this is also sine. So it is a T sine theta. This is a T sine theta. This is opposite, it is adjacent. It is a T cos theta. So horizontal component T sine theta, vertical component T cos theta. So the tension has been resolved the two components. One is along x axis, another one is along y axis. Along x axis, along y. One is T sin theta, another one is a T cos theta. Okay. Let's start our problem. How to calculate the magnitude of the heat charge? By using the Newton's second law, F is equal to ma, the acceleration along x axis 0. Similarly, acceleration along y axis also 0. How? It is a T sin theta acting along x axis, positive x axis. So I cap direction. Fe is acting opposite direction of x axis, that is a minus I. So minus Fe I cap is equal to 0. Acceleration along x axis 0. So T sin theta which is equal to Fe. So T sin theta is equal to Fe because I cancel. T sin theta is equal to Fe along one direction. Similarly, in y axis, again the acceleration remains 0. That is the net acceleration becomes 0. F is equal to mg T cos theta. So T cos theta along a positive y axis. So j cap direction. J cap. Now the F is equal to mg acting downward direction, negative axis. So minus mg j cap is equal to 0. So T cos theta is equal to mg. So it is a keep equation number 1, it is equation number 2. Now compare T sin theta is equal to Fe, T cos theta is equal to mg. So T sin theta is equal to Fe, T cos theta is equal to mg. So divide T sin theta by sin theta, T sin theta, T cancel. Sin theta by cos theta is equal to tan theta. Tan theta is equal to Fe by mg. But our aim to calculate only the force. So from this equation, F suffix E, force due to electrostatic force F is equal to mg tan theta. What is a force? What kind of the force exists between these two spheres? Electrostatic force. We know that electrostatic force F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Q1 Q2 by R square. But the both charges are similar. Q1 Q2, Q1 is equal to Q2. 1 by 4 pi epsilon. So F is equal to K Q square by R square. That is a force due to electrostatic. So electrostatic force K Q square by R square is equal to mg tan theta. We have to calculate only Q square. So now calculate the R. What is R? R is distance between two spheres. Distance between two spheres. We know from the center to the sphere is A. Now from this sphere to this sphere the distance is 2A. This is a 2A. So R is equal to 2A. R square 2A square. K Q square 2A whole square is equal to mg tan theta. So k q square by 4a square is equal to mg tan theta. Now calculate the q value, q square value. So q square is equal to 4a square mg tan theta. What is a A? In this diagram, A is the distance between one of the charge and center. How to calculate the A? This is a theta. A is opposite angle of theta. So from this, sin theta is equal to, in this triangle, in this right angle triangle, sin theta is equal to opposite divided by hypotenuse. Opposite A, hypotenuse length, hypotenuse length. So A is equal to L sin theta. A is equal to L sin theta. Substitute there, q square 4a is equal to L sin theta, that is L square sin square theta mg tan theta, mg tan theta. So we need only q. So q is equal to, you take square root. When taking square root from the outside of square root 4, it's a 2. L square L sin square theta sin theta or root of mg tan theta. We left k, that's a q square 4a square by is by k by k by k. Now substitute the value. Q is equal to 2. What is the value of L? Length is equal to 1 centimeter, length of the string 0.1 meter. So 0.1. Sin theta, sin 7 degree, theta is equal to 7 degree. Theta is equal to given 7 degree. Sin 7 given, sin 7 0.121, 0.121 or root of m, mass of the sphere 1 milligram, 1 into 10 power minus 3. Tan theta, tan 7 degree, tan 7 degree given 0.122, 0.122. G take, G is equal to 10 meter per second square divided by k. What is a k? 1 by 4 pi epsilon value is equal to k. We know that k value is always equal to 9 into 10 power 9. K is equal to 9 into 10 power 9, it's a magnitude. Substitute there 9 into 10 power 9. When 10 power 9 goes up, becomes a minus 9, minus 9, minus 3, minus 12. When inside the root minus 12, taking outside the root become 10 power minus 6. So q is equal to 2 into 0.1 into 0.121 into 10 power minus 6, because 10 power minus 9 goes up becomes 10 power minus, 10 power plus 9 goes up becomes 10 power minus 9, 10 power minus 9, 10 power minus 3, 10 power minus 12, taking outside 10 power minus 6. When it's a 9, 9 taking outside become 3, a root of 0.122 into 10. So 1.22, 10 into 0.122, so 1.22. So 2 into 0.1 into 0.121 in 10 power minus 6. If we simplify by using the logarithm book, 1.22 root 1.22 is equal to 1.10. The value is 1.10. 1.10 divided by 3. Now we can simplify. 0.1 could be written as 1 in 10 power minus 1. 0.121 could be written as 1.21 in 10 power minus 1. So 2 into 1 into 10 power minus 1, 1.21 in 10 power minus 1, 10 power minus 6 into 1.1 divided by 3. If we simplify, 10 power minus 1, 10 power minus 1, 10 power minus 2, 10 power minus 6, 10 power minus 8. So it is 1.1 divided by 3, we can get it 0.8866 in 10 power minus 8 coulomb. Unit of charge coulomb, or 8.866 in 10 power minus 9 coulomb. 10 power minus 9 nothing but nano coulomb. So the answer is 8.866 nano coulomb. The charge of each sphere suspended from the thread, they kept at a distance a meter apart, each charge 8.866 nano coulomb. This is the answer given in your textbook. This is a problem based on the previous one. This is a problem asked in the NEET examination 2013. 2013. Two pith balls. What is a pith ball? The ball which carries easily positive charges. That kind of balls are called pith balls. Carrying equal charges are suspended from common point. There are two pith balls suspended from the common point by the string whose length is L. Length, the equilibrium separation between them is R1. The separation between two pith ball is R1. Now the strings are rigidly clamped at half the height. Now the second case. Now the same pith ball clamped rigidly, but the height is half, clamped at the half the height. The equilibrium separation between the balls are R2. Now becomes, see already the two strings, the two pith balls suspended with means of the string whose length is L, separated with a distance R1. Now the pith ball, the same pith ball clamped at the half of the height. The initial height is y. Now the height becomes y by 2. What is the distance R2? What is the distance R2? The given is the question asked in the year of 2013 NEET examination. It is based on the previous problem. Okay, let's start. Okay, two pith balls. Once again, apply FBD and Newton's second law. Free body diagram. In this pith ball whose force F is equal to mg acting downward direction. Two pith balls carrying the equal amount of charge, positive charge. Once again there would be the repulsive force Fe acting opposite direction. Fe. Now the string has been resolved the two components. One is horizontal component, another one is vertical component. So this is the vertical component. This is the horizontal component. This is the theta. If it is a theta, it is also theta. Theta, this is the adjacent side. If it is adjacent side, it is a tension T cos theta. It is adjacent, this is the opposite. The opposite is also opposite. So T sin theta. So T sin theta Fe are equilibrium. Mg is equal to T cos theta equilibrium. So T sin theta along x-axis, negative x-axis, positive x-axis, which is equal to Fe acting opposite direction x-axis. So plus I cap minus I cap. So the acceleration remain, net acceleration becomes 0. So T sin theta is equal to Fe. Similarly, F is equal to mg. This mg is acting downward direction, the T cos theta acting opposite. So both are equal and opposite. So T cos theta is equal to mg. It is a 1, it is a 2. Okay. Now divide two things. T sin theta, T cos theta, T cancel, sin theta by cos theta, again tan theta. Tan theta is equal to Fe by mg. Fe by mg. What is the tan theta? From the figure, this is the theta. So it is a right angle triangle. theta is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. Opposite adjacent is hypotenuse. So tan theta is equal to opposite divided by adjacent. Opposite, that is opposite angle. So this distance between two pith ball is r1. This is r1 by 2. This is r1 by 2 because it is center. So distance by two pith ball r1, half the length r1 by 2. So tan theta is equal to opposite r1 by 2 divided by adjacent is y. Fe by mg is equal to tan theta. Substitute Fe is equal to kq square by r1 square mg. Tan theta opposite divided by adjacent. So r1 by 2y substituted. Similarly for the second case, same electrostatic force exists between these two things. Only the distance of y becomes y by 2. So kq square instead of r1 square it is r2, that is a mg, the tan theta. Now only the changes in the tan theta. So tan theta, in this case tan theta opposite divided by adjacent, opposite r2 by 2, adjacent y by 2, to cancel. So tan theta is equal to r2 by y. Now substitute k q square r2 square mg instead of tan theta r2 by y. It is equation number 4. It is equation number 3. It is equation number 4. So divide 3 by 4. Divide 3 by 4. What's the 3? kq square divided by r1 square mg is equal to r1 divided by 2y divided by k q square r2 square mg r2 by y. Now divide. So k cancel, q square cancel, mg cancel, here y cancel. Here r2 square by r1 square, r2 square divided by r1 square is equal to r1 by 2r2 because y cancel. So r2 square by r1 square is equal to r1 by 2r2. Now cross multiple. 2r2 square is equal to 2r2 square, 2 that is 2r2 cube is equal to r1 cube. So we have to calculate only the r2. So r2 cube is equal to r1 cube by 2. So r2 is equal to r1 cube by 2 power 1 by 3. So 3 cancel. So r1 divided by 2 power 1 by 3. This is the distance r2. Distance between two charged sphere, that is a pith ball, when it is a climbed half of the distance, they compare with the previous one, the distance r2 is equal to r1 by 2 power 1 by 3. This question asked the NEET 2013 based on the previous question. Okay, let's move to next problem. Numerical problems. Question number 50. It's also based on NEET. Capacitor P and Q have identical cross section. So there are two capacitors P and Q given. Identical cross section, area cross section A, same. Area cross section A and separation between them. So distance between two plate is a D. This is the area A. The space between the capacitor is filled with a dielectric constants epsilon r. See, in this capacitor, partially filled dielectric constant epsilon r. Here also partially filled epsilon r, but different position as shown in the figure. Calculate the capacitance of the capacitor P and Q. What is the capacitance of the P? What is the capacitance of the Q? First start, we'll calculate capacitance of the capacitor P, then we'll move to the Q. See, in the first case, area cross section the capacitor A, the distance between the plate is D. Now half of the area filled with the dielectric constant epsilon r, half of the area. So the distance D same, half area filled with dielectric constant epsilon r other than air. So this is the air media, the other part is epsilon r. Now one part is filled with the dielectric constant epsilon r, another part filled with air. Now the capacitor becomes a parallel. There are two capacitors. One is air filled capacitor and one is a dielectric. Now the two things are connected in parallel capacitor. We are studied when number of capacitors connected in series and parallel, how to calculate the effective capacitance. When number of capacitors connected in parallel, effective capacitance could be calculated sum of the individual capacitance. If number of capacitors connected in series, effective capacitance could be calculated reciprocal of the sum of individual capacitance. Let's start. How to calculate the effective capacitance of this capacitor? Two capacitors connected in parallel. Okay. First, this is, let us consider it is a C1 capacitor, it is C2 capacitor. C, we know that C is equal to epsilon naught A by D. This is a general formula to calculate the capacitance of capacitor. Now this part is filled with air, this part is filled with dielectric. Okay, with air, so C1 is equal to epsilon naught A by D. Epsilon naught A by D. But already area of cross section area A, now only the half filled with air, half region is filled with the dielectric constant. So area becomes a half. So area becomes A by 2. A by 2. Capacitor C1. And capacitor C2, similarly area of cross section, not A, half. Already a half area is filled with air, remaining half filled with the dielectric. Again, epsilon naught. Now it's not air media, it is a dielectric. Epsilon naught into epsilon r A by D by 2. That's area. Area becomes A by 2. Here area becomes A by 2. The effective capacitance of the first air filled capacitor, epsilon naught A by 2D. Second case, epsilon A by 2D. Okay. Now calculate the effective capacitance of the capacitor. So effective capacitance, now the connection is parallel. It's a parallel. C effective or C parallel is equal to C1 plus C2, the sum of the individual capacitance. So C effective, what is C1? Epsilon naught A by 2D plus C2 epsilon naught epsilon r A by 2D. Here the common epsilon naught A by 2D is common. Take epsilon d, 2D is a constant, common. 1 plus epsilon r. This is effective capacitance of the capacitor when connected in parallel in the case of P capacitor. P capacitor. The next capacitor, second one, it is for P capacitor. Then Q capacitor. The second diagram Q. See, in the first case, the half of the area filled with the dielectric. In the second case, half of the distance filled with the dielectric. Now the area cross section remains same for both capacitors. Here the capacitor 1, it is capacitor 2. The capacitor 2 is filled with the air. Capacitor 1 filled with the dielectric. Now the distance between two plate D, it is a distance D by 2, D by 2. Area crosses remain same. Area cross section remains same. The previous case, area cross section become a half. The distance between the plate remain. See, distance of the air media D. Here also distance between dielectric field is a D. Here the distance D by 2, D by 2. The area cross section of the capacitor remains same. So first capacitor, the first capacitor C1. C1 is equal to epsilon naught. General formula C is equal to epsilon A by D. Now it is filled with the air dielectric. Add epsilon R. Epsilon naught epsilon r A by D A remains same, D becomes D by 2. So, D 2, D by 2. That is a C2. Only the air media, the distance only D by 2, the area of cross section remains same. So, CT is equal to epsilon naught A divided by D by 2. D by 2, 2 goes up. So, C1 2 epsilon A by D, C2 2 epsilon A by D. Now, in this case, the two it is air field capacitor, dielectric field. In this case, two capacitors are connected in parallel, but two capacitors connected series. So, this is a positive charge given, positive, negative, positive, negative. So, the two capacitor are connected in series. In series connection, effective capacitance C effective is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. Effective capacitance is a reciprocal of the individual. So, 1 by C is equal to or 1 by C effective, that is CS. S represents a series connection, 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2. So, 1 by CS or 1 by C effective, any one. 1 divided by what is C1? C1 is equal to 2 epsilon naught epsilon r A then D plus 1 divided by C2 value 2 epsilon naught A D. Okay, now we calculate 1 by CS. So, 1 by C effective or CS equal to what is the common? D by 2 epsilon naught A, D by 2 epsilon A common, D divided by 2 epsilon naught A common. Here 1 by epsilon r plus 1 is a 1. So, D divided by 2 epsilon naught A, now take LCM 1 plus epsilon r divided by epsilon r, 1 by C effective. So, C is effective is equal to, that is connected in series equal to reciprocal 2 epsilon naught A by D epsilon r 1 plus epsilon r. See, in the first case the effective capacitance epsilon to A divided by 2D 1 plus epsilon r. The second case 2 epsilon A by D epsilon r divided by 1 plus epsilon. Be careful, in this case a dielectric field half of the area covered dielectric, but the entire area covered the dielectric. That is why it is a connection series. There are two capacitors. Here also there are two capacitors, but in one by one it is a parallel. It is a air field capacitor, dielectric field capacitor. So, it is a parallel. This is series. If the parallel series, if you find it is a parallel connection or series connection, you calculate the effective capacitor always reciprocal of the individual capacitor when connected in series. In parallel connection, sum of the individual. So, C parallel is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3 and so on. C series 1 by C is equal to 1 by C1 plus 1 by C2 plus 1 by C3 and so on. So, the effective capacitor connected, when number of capacitor connected in series, effective capacitor always lesser than the least. In number of capacitor connected in parallel, effective capacitor always greater than the greatest. If we know this concept, whatever any dielectric field between the plate, we can calculate the effective capacitor. This kind of the problem many times asked in the NEET also. In this session we have seen only the few problems. So, these are all related to the NEET also. So, the next class we will do remaining problem of electrostatic. Thank you.